New developments tonight. Senator Mike Lee taking to the Senate floor in the nation's capital, calling for the U.S. to renegotiate an agreement with Japan. The government there sentencing Navy Lieutenant Ridge Alconis to 3 years behind bars. They claim Alconis was sleeping behind the wheel when he crashed into and killed 2 people. But Alconis's family and U.S. Navy investigators say he was suffering a medical episode. 4 weeks ago, Senator Lee set a deadline for the Japanese Prime Minister to transfer Alconis back to the U.S. That deadline was yesterday. The senator just wrapped up his floor time and is calling for a congressional review of the U.S.-Japan status of forces agreement.
And now to an update on an investigation into the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. The Associated Press finding the church routinely mishandles child sex abuse cases among their members. That investigation prompting a push to reform laws that exempt clergy members from telling law enforcement about child sex abuse. 4 different lawmakers worked on proposals, all of which stalled on Utah's Capitol Hill. None of them making it into an initial committee hearing. With only 2 full days left in the session, these lawmakers say they plan to bring their bills back next year.
Today, Utah representatives voting unanimously to pass a bill out of the legislature which will change the way police respond to domestic violence calls. Senate Bill 117 requires officers to conduct lethality assessments for victims of domestic violence. It's a series of questions used to determine whether or not their life is under threat. If so, that victim immediately connected with potentially life-saving resources. The bill very dear to Lieutenant Governor Deidre Henderson, whose cousin Mandy Main was killed last year.
In Mandy's case, she didn't understand the risk that she was in. I think a lot of victims don't. But this allows law enforcement the opportunity to speak in a way that they can recognize the threat.
The lieutenant governor applauding the bill's move forward. She released a statement that says this: while this past year has been painful for my family, we see this as a huge victory for victims of domestic violence in Utah. Now the bill heads to the governor's desk without a single no vote from lawmakers.
And it's good for Utah, a big day of high school students of all different abilities, athletes with Special Olympics Utah, visiting the state capitol today for what's called Spread the World Inclusion Week. They asked lawmakers to take a pledge to stand up against discrimination and create opportunities for people with intellectual disabilities. Utah First Lady Abby Cox says it's important people of all different abilities feel included.
When we're inclusive, it means that we're taking into account every voice in our state.
Okay, athletes also learned about different ways they can make a more accepting environment for everyone.